You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a textbook that's basically the size of a brick, and you just think, how on earth am I supposed to get all of this into my brain? We've all been there. Well, today, we're going to tackle that exact problem, and we're using one of the toughest exams on the entire planet as our case study.
So, how do you memorize a mountain? And I don't mean just a metaphorical one. I'm talking about a real mountain effects, where every single rock, every pebble, could show up on a test that basically decides your future. This is the daily reality for every single medical student out there.
And this mountain, well, it has a name. The United States Medical Licensing Examination. You probably know it as the USMLE. It's this grueling series of tests that every single aspiring doctor has to pass. And it's not just about knowing facts. It's about being able to apply this huge interconnected web of knowledge, all while you're under just immense pressure.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, think about just one subject, pathology. This is the study of what goes wrong in the human body. It can make up to 55% of the first exam. That's not just a slice of the pie, my friends. That's over half the entire meal.
And here's where it gets even crazier. You can see here that pathology isn't its own little isolated subject. No. It cuts across every single system in the body, from reproductive and endocrine all the way down to the cardiovascular system. You literally have to know how everything can fail everywhere.
So, when you're faced with a mountain like that, how do you even start to climb it? Well, a very modern approach would say, let's use a machine. Let's build the most efficient, logical, data-driven tool we can possibly imagine, an AI-generated study guide.
And that was the exact prompt someone gave to an AI. And I love the wording here. The goal wasn't nuance, it wasn't a story. The goal was to be brutal, to be brutally efficient. Just strip away all the fluff and deliver nothing but pure, high-yield information, organized for lightning-fast drills.
And this is what it looks like in practice. The AI gets a clinical scenario and it just spits out the answer. It's 100% accurate, it's incredibly fast, and it's completely sterile. It feels like a database query, you know? It tells you what the answer is, but it gives you no connection, no story, absolutely no soul. And of course, the AI can build this out into an entire study tool. The whole system of human disease is broken down into a giant cheat sheet. Each disease is just a row in a database. You've got your mechanism, your buzzwords, your labs. It's logical, it's organized, it's really powerful. But it makes you ask a really important question.
Does learning this way actually work for our brains in the long run? I mean, can you really hold on to thousands of these little disconnected facts when you're under pressure? Or does it all just blur together into this, fog of data? Is being efficient really the same thing as being effective?
And that brings us to a totally different way of thinking about this. This isn't the machine's answer, it's the human answer. It's a method that works with the way our brains are wired, instead of fighting against it. It uses these ancient, incredibly powerful tools, emotion and story.
Okay, so let's go back to Graves' disease for a second. The machine told us the key fact is TSH receptor stimulating IgG. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. Now imagine trying to recall that specific phrase a week from now, mixed in with 100 other antibody names. It's tough, right? Okay, now, what if you remembered it like this instead? Love burns hot. Just 3 simple words. It's simple, it's memorable, and it's almost impossible to forget. But how in the world does that connect back to the science?
Well, this simple little phrase perfectly anchors the complex pathology. The autoantibodies are like a misguided love that's constantly stimulating the thyroid. And the result? The body burns hot. You get symptoms that feel like passion on overdrive, high energy, a racing heart, sweating. All of a sudden, you've linked a dry scientific fact to a human feeling you can actually relate to.
Let's try another one. This is fun. Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS. The machine gives us the facts. Increased LH to FSH ratio, increased androgens. Okay, the human approach. Pretty crazy over sugar. And this is just a beautiful example of a powerful mini story. A key part of PCOS is insulin resistance, the body going crazy over sugar. And that one phrase connects the root cause to all the major symptoms. It weaves this memorable little narrative around the science. It's not a list of facts anymore. It's a tiny, unforgettable story.
So why does this work so well? I mean, this isn't just some cute little trick, it's actually rooted in hard cognitive science. Our brains are not wired to remember spreadsheets of data. They are pattern-matching machines that evolved over millennia to remember stories. They look for cause and effect, for characters and conflict, because that's how we've survived and made sense of the world forever.
So, really, it boils down to three key things if you want to make knowledge stick. First, you have to anchor it to an emotion, like that burning hot feeling of love, because our emotions act like a highlighter for our memory. Second, you create a visual story, that sweet relationship gone wild, which gives our brain a little movie it can replay. And third, you use those tools to simplify a really complex idea into something human and manageable. And this gets to the absolute heart of what true learning is all about. It's not about memorizing thousands of isolated facts. It's about understanding the underlying language of a subject. There's a saying among people who've climbed this mountain: pathology is the language of disease. Master it, and the rest becomes translation, not memorization.
So as we all face our own mountains of information, maybe this is the lesson. The key isn't just having raw processing power. It's about our uniquely human ability to connect with knowledge, to find the story inside the data, and to turn cold, hard facts into real understanding. So the real question is, what if the key to learning isn't just what you know, but how you connect with it?